I still remember the sound of my phone vibrating on the dashboard, lighting up with my daughter's name, while I sat in traffic convincing myself I was doing the right thing. I told myself I'd make it up to her later. I didn't realize how close I was to losing something I couldn't get back. For most of my adult life, I believed showing up meant providing, paying bills on time, keeping the lights on, making sure there was food in the fridge. That's what my father taught me, not with words, but with long hours and tired eyes. He wasn't around much, but I never went without, so I assumed that was love in its most practical form. By the time I was in my early 40s, I had a steady job in operations management at a mid-sized logistics company outside Denver. Nothing glamorous, but dependable. I was good at it. Too good, maybe. The kind of guy they called when something broke, when a shipment went missing, when a deadline needed saving. That afternoon, my calendar was packed. A regional audit had gone sideways, and my boss asked if I could stay late to help clean it up. I said yes, automatically. That's what dependable people do. Then my phone buzzed. "Dad, are you still coming?" My daughter Lily texted. I glanced at the clock. 4:47 p.m. Her softball game started at 5. The field was 20 minutes away on a good day. Traffic was already stacking up. I typed back, "I'll try, sweetheart." I stared at those 3 words longer than I should have. Lily was 16, a junior. She'd been playing softball since she was 8, back when her helmet slid over her eyes and she swung like she was chopping wood. Over the years, I'd made most of her games. Not all, but enough to feel like a good dad. This one felt different, though. It was her last home game of the season. Senior night was coming next year, but this was the final time she'd play under the lights of the field where she'd grown up. I stood up from my desk, jacket in hand, then sat back down. 5 more minutes, I told myself. Just finish this report. 5 minutes turned into 15. At 5:18 p.m., I was still staring at spreadsheets when my phone buzzed again. "Coach is doing announcements," Lily wrote. I didn't reply. I drove like I was late to my own wedding. When I pulled into the gravel lot, the sun was already dipping low, painting the sky that soft orange that makes everything feel temporary. I could hear the game before I saw it. The crack of a bat. A cheer. I jogged toward the bleachers, scanning the field for Lily's number. She was in right field. I sat down quietly, trying not to draw attention. The bleachers were half full. Parents, grandparents, a few younger siblings chasing each other under the seats. Lily never looked my way. In the 4th inning, the announcer's voice came over the speakers. "Tonight, we recognize our juniors playing their final home game." Each girl walked to home plate with a parent. One by one, I watched fathers straighten their posture, mothers wipe their eyes, families smile for photos. When Lily's name was called, she walked alone. There was a pause, a small, awkward one. The announcer cleared his throat and moved on. I felt something sink in my chest, slow and heavy. I wanted to stand up, to run down there and explain, to say I was stuck at work, that I tried, that I always try. But the moment passed. After the game, I waited by the fence. Lily walked off the field with her teammates, laughing, sweaty, alive in that way only teenagers are. When she saw me, her smile faltered, just a little. "You made it," she said. "I'm sorry I was late," I replied. "Work ran long." She nodded. "It's okay." But it wasn't. The drive home was quiet. The radio stayed off. At a red light, I noticed her staring out the window, her jaw tight in a way I recognized from her mother when she was holding something in. At home, Lily went straight to her room. No door slam, no drama. That somehow felt worse. Later that night, I knocked. "Yeah?" she said. I sat on the edge of her bed. Her walls were covered in photos, team pictures, friends, memories frozen in glossy squares. "I messed up," I said. She shrugged. "You're busy. I get it." "No," I replied. "You shouldn't have to get it." She looked at me then, really looked. "It just would have been nice," she said quietly, "to have you there when they called my name." That was it. No yelling, no tears, just truth. I didn't sleep much that night. I kept replaying moments I'd missed over the years. School plays I showed up late to, dinners eaten alone, conversations cut short by emails and calls. I told myself I was doing it for her, but somewhere along the way, I started doing it for the feeling of being needed at work, of being indispensable. The next morning, I asked my boss for a meeting. "I need to set some boundaries," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I can't stay late like I used to." He looked surprised. Then he nodded. "We'll figure it out." It turns out the world didn't fall apart without me. That evening, I drove Lily to practice. We talked about nothing important. Music, a test she had coming up, a girl on her team who couldn't hit to save her life. It felt like being let back into a room I'd almost locked myself out of. I still work hard. I still provide. But now, when my phone buzzes with her name, I answer. Because showing up isn't just about being there when it's convenient. Sometimes, it's about choosing to be present when it matters most, before the moment passes you by.